What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. I have absolutely no brain power because I just came back from the gym. I did chest day, which is the biggest day of the week, of course. If you know, you know, and yeah, no, I mean, I just had to make this video because we got some pretty nice announcements and I really want to share them with you. So before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's get right into the first one. So the mega tins of 2022 are going to be quite interesting indeed. We have a lot of exciting reprints. So of course, we're going to have one prismatic secret per pack with 2 ultras, 2 supers, 1 rare, 12 commons. Now, the only kind of almost disappointing thing in a way, not really, not disappointing. It's definitely not Konami's fault. And it's, you can't even say that it's a negative thing, but it's such a huge set, a huge aggregation of a lot of different sets that it might actually drown the good cards, which means that you might actually pull a lot of garbage from these packs, but good luck pulling the super broken cards. We have no idea if there are going to be short prints, I don't think so. But yeah, Ghost Ogre, Ash, Lightning Storm, Nibiru, Forbidden Droplet, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. The fact that Ghost Ogre is getting a reprint is definitely very interesting as well. We don't know if all these cards are going to be prismatic secrets, but they are the highlights of this mega pack, and for all we know, they might definitely be very high rarity, at least ultra rare, is probably not super or rare. No, I don't think so. But one relatively new thing that Konami has started doing is that these cards are not printed in like their original rarity of when they first appeared in their first pack. For example, Forbidden Droplet, which is getting a reprint, will most likely not be a secret rare. It might actually get downgraded to an ultra, where some other cards like Ghost Ogre that already has a secret rare might actually become a prismatic, which is interesting because we never really got the opportunity to get a card like this in prismatic. And Ash, I think it's just a matter of time before we're going to get an ultimate rare. It really needs one. It's going to be like $1,000 ultimate for sure, at least 1,000 Canadian, so maybe like 700 US. Definitely not that big of a stretch. Lightning Storm, I also believe, will be a downgrade, so from Secret to Ultra. Nibiru, I honestly don't think so. I mean, I think it might actually be a super rare just so that more people will be able to get their hands on the card, because I think it's already a prismatic secret from the mega pack of, I think it was 2020? I completely forgot. And Red Eyes Dark Dragon will most likely be a prismatic secret as well. Now, for the actual other cards, look at these pretty sick arts. I mean, this, I think, is brand new. Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon in these pretty freaking awesome artworks, man. I really like it. Yeah, of course, I'm a really big old school fan of the super old Blue Eye, the very first one from the starter deck. The nostalgia is real with that one. And Red Eyes Black Dragon, yeah, again, nothing will be the original. Dark Magician Girl, there's one for like every taste, so whatever. But this is probably the biggest part of this video. So the Albaz structure deck, what will it have? The majority of these cards we already knew because they're kind of like the core of the Albaz structure deck. But we have some pretty nice reprints as well. So I don't know if people really care about Fleur de Lis, the Kaiju, Levinier, whatever. I mean, it's going to be a common. Pretty ugly. People really want to rarity bump these kind of cards anyways. Ogre and Veiler as commons. Not something, again, that a lot of people will be chasing, but if you're struggling to get your hands on even just a super rare Ghost Ogre, I think it's still very expensive right now because it's such a commonly played card in the current format where Rite of Aramesia with Journey of Destiny exist. You really want to Ogre that card so your opponent can't get the Omni-Negate of Griffin, or you can simply Ghost Ogre the Wandering Griffin Rider, or Ogre some other cards. So that's the reason why Ogre is getting a reprint both in this structure deck, also in the mega pack, so definitely makes sense. Effect Veiler is already available as a common, but another printing definitely can't hurt. It's not like MST and Cyber Dragon, which were literally reprinted over 20 times. I think MST might actually have the world record. But yeah, some new cards as well. The Branded Fusion, ridiculously freaking awesome. And Gold Sarcophagus, whatever. Does that mean Gold Sarcophagus will be back at 3? I really don't think so, because if they do unban unlimit rather Gold Sarcophagus, that might mean that Thunder Dragon Colossus will never get unbanned, and if it does, it'll just go to 1 instead of going back to 3, because 3 Colossus with 3 Gold Sarcophagus definitely is tier 1 contender for sure. A lot of Extravagance being common, again, that was just a matter of time, and you can expect that for Pot of Prosperity. It's just that it will take a lot of time. I think Extravagance is a 2019 card. I could be wrong, but I think it was beginning of 2019. And now we are in 2022, so it took 3 years for Extravagance to finally get a very affordable reprint, and that means that Eldritch will be easier to play than ever. If you can get your hands on just the Eldritch cards, you're good, because you don't need that many expensive staples for Eldritch, and all the cards that you probably might need as staples might also already be available elsewhere very cheaply. For example, there can only be one, so super easy to get your hands on this card now. I know this card was also relatively expensive in a way, but this is going to be a lot of value for people who just want to play the cards and don't really care too much about the rarity. Called by the Grave, I don't think that's super expensive. It was already common. And then Dark Ruler No More. I also don't believe this was super expensive, and it's not that sought after, but still definitely something that we can appreciate. Waking the Dragon is so random, and one thing that actually kind of makes me laugh with this structure deck is how unplayable it is in like a draft or whatever. So if you have to play just this structure deck, it just makes no sense. Like, you can't really resolve this extravagance. If you resolve Pot of Extravagance for 6, you can't use Branded Fusion, and so many of your other cards will be doing absolutely freaking nothing at all. And there's just so many weird things. Like, the artifact side, how do you destroy it? What are you doing with the baby dragons? Starleech Seyfert, are you just searching these? I don't know, I feel like Konami's trying to make this almost work with Dragon Link-esque cards, with, you know, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon as well, and the baby dragons. But it's not like, you know, it would make sense to reprint a card like Striker Dragon or Pisty. That would literally make no sense, because Striker Dragon was introduced in its structure deck of its own. So yeah, I mean, whatever. We still have so much value here. So the most sought after cards will definitely be the Mirror Jade, the Albion, the Branded Fusion. That card will for sure be an ultra rare, probably the main card of the structure deck. Fallen of Albaz will probably be an ultra rare, because, yo, Konami freaking loves this card. It's crazy, man. It's one of the cards that got the most amount of support for, you know, its name in, I want to say, practically all of Yu-Gi-Oh! There are so many cards that say if you control Fallen of Albaz, or rather, you can search one card that is named Fallen of Albaz, or list Fallen of Albaz as a material, even are going to be getting the kind of fusion monster that is kind of like a chimeritic monster. And that basically means that if you can set Fallen of Albaz, you can out a huge gigantic board of Dragon Link, because your opponent's like Hieratic Seal will not be able to bounce back a face down Fallen of Albaz. Hieratic Seal only bounces back face up cards. Burlode Savage Dragon, Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend Abyss, all these cards will be doing absolutely less than nothing. So I don't know if this structure deck and the new support and everything is going to be making Dragon Link way worse. I don't necessarily know. I know the Fusion Monster is still being played as a one-of in the OCG, and the main reason for that is not even because of its contact fusing mechanic, but rather because of the fact that it also has a very similar effect as Albion, as its Sent to the Graveyard effect. So during the end phase, you get your +1, etc. But it is not a part of the structure deck, if I recall correctly. It is actually in a core set, and that is always something that we can look forward to when Konami gives us a structure deck. Usually there's the wave of support with the structure deck, and then the next core set after, we're going to get even more cards to, you know, promote that structure deck, make it so people buy the structure deck. And this is definitely a very, you know, magnificent business promotion. But also another thing I want to say is that if Konami does that, they have to be kind of consistent, because I know Cyber Dark didn't get the same treatment. They got their structure deck and they never got a single Cyber Dark card in a core set after. I don't understand. Like, Konami really has, you know, a huge crush on Fallen of Albaz, and so many of those other really popular and tier 1 decks that they know for a fact that people are going to buy. But why not, you know, give a little more love to Cyber Dark? I'm a huge fan of Cyber Dark as well. It's not quite Cyber Dragon, but still, it was played by Zane Truesdale, the man, the myth, the legend. It still needs a little bit of appreciation. But yeah, this card is Warning Point, and then Necro Fusion. So many cards that I don't think people will care that much because they're already common. But like I said, definitely a lot of value, especially from Ogre. With Extravagance, Branded Fusion, there can only be one. Even if you're not even planning on playing the deck, if you buy one structure deck for like $10 for example, you are definitely making a profit off of it. So you can buy multiple copies of the structure deck, sell them either sealed, or open them and then sell the single cards, either right off the bat or later. And I can guarantee you that it might actually have a similar kind of treatment as the Salamangreat structure deck and what happened with that one, where people were basically selling the structure deck for like triple the value, because Ash was like worth more than the structure deck at one point. It was ridiculous. So people were like, why aren't we all buying, you know, every single copy of the structure deck? And it got to a point where even Gazelle and the core Salamander cards became expensive just because people were obsessed with pulling Ash from the structure deck. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea how relevant and how, you know, nice this structure deck is. Probably very, very nice as, you know, value, but competitive value, it's definitely up there as a tier 1 deck for sure. Right off the bat, even before we get to the next wave of support. Let me know how you think Albaz will be impacting the TCG metagame. Do you think it's going to be as good as it is in the OCG? I want to hear your guys' thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.